Lonzo Ball and Darius Garland. They were on the Balls have a podcast, of course.
Ball in the Family.
I didn't know that they still had a podcast.
Yeah.
They were so popular for a while. Now does anybody pay attention to the Balls anymore? Or am I just out of the loop?
LaMelo is still fun.
LaMelo's really good.
Still a really good player.
I know, but nobody pays attention to the family anymore.
No, their whole
dad,
reality show.
who knows what he's
he lost
doing.
his foot, man.
Yeah.
Remember he had like
He did?
Yeah.
Did he have diabetes?
I believe so.
He had to get
But
his
when
foot
you have
amputated.
money, you should never lose your foot from diabetes, right? You have enough money to pay for prescription.
how
He
that
had
works.
he had a foot
Anyway.
amputated.
Whatever, he lost his foot. That sucks, but he's not part of the. That sounded bad. I don't mean to laugh. I obviously said that he. The way I said it was weird. Seems insensitive. I don't like the guy, but I don't wish him to lose his foot. But anyway,
he was an a-hole to us on that.
He was a jerk,
especially me. He was taking shots at me. Yeah.
He was a jerk. He was a jerk. He's still a jerk, but I don't want him to lose his foot. But he did lose his foot, and I'm putting my foot in my mouth. So let's keep moving.
Also, you want to set this up?
Yeah. Can we play it?
Yeah.
Play
So, Darius Garland and Lonzo Ball.
Yeah.
Were part of the Ball in the Family podcast.
Yeah.
Darius was on. They were asked about a number of different things, including their tenure with the Cleveland Cavaliers and how they thought the Cavaliers proceeded after they got rid of Lonzo and Darius, and this is their answers.
If you were trying to win a championship, I don't think that was a path that you should have took. Personally.
Okay.
If you ask me, I think we would have went farther.
Okay.
But that's just me. I'm always gonna bet on myself. But
okay.
I feel like we had a better team. I feel like they don't even watching the last series. I'm like, y'all traded people that you're not even using.
Yeah.
And then you push Tyson to the bench when he was killing all year. Quan didn't see the light of day. He's the energy guy. It's just like that I seen throughout the year. I didn't see at all in the playoffs. And to me, it's gonna be hard to win when you don't have no identity.
Fair enough. DG?
I'm with Zoe, man.
Okay.
It was low-key tough to watch. I mean, I didn't watch a lot, but when I did tune in, it was kind of tough.
Yeah.
Especially like seeing how we was playing early on in the year.
Right.
Seeing like it's such a total, literally a 180.
Right.
Like something totally different on the court, but it is what it is.
Go ahead.
Look, I'll comment first, and
Go
then
ahead.
the basketball guru can talk about it. I mean, Garland's a hell of a player, and he was a big part of this franchise for a long time. So I'm sure that if I were in his shoes, I'd probably feel I'd probably feel the exact same way, dude.
Yeah.
If I was Darius Garland and had that ability and was on that team, I would look at the way that they got swept by the Knicks in the Eastern Conference Finals and feel like, damn, if I'd have been there, it wouldn't have went like that. It would not have gone that way. The Lonzo wouldn't have played a second.
Not a second.
He would have played a second.
He was horrible.
So let me take the glasses off.
Yeah.
Where do we want to start? Do we want to start on the Lonzo side of this or the Darius side of this? Which one?
Well, go with Lonzo first.
Let's start with the Lonzo one. Do you know that when Lonzo Ball played this year for the Cleveland Cavaliers, he was unquestionably the single worst offensive player in the NBA this season?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I put together a little rankings of where Lonzo Ball ranked among all qualified NBA
I didn't
players
even know there were
this year.
536 NBA players.
Guys who played at least one game this year. This is where he ranks among all. Now, I can't see these numbers because I took my glasses off, so this is a really bad time to take my glasses off. But
his best stat is 186 at plus minus.
He was horrific. It got to the point this year, Bull, and in his final games with the Cavaliers in the regular season, every time he touched the ball, the home fans would boo Lonzo Ball because they did not want him to shoot the basketball. That's how bad it got. So I had high hopes for Lonzo entering this season. I was the one that sat up here and said I thought Lonzo could be a legitimate playoff contributor when they acquired him for Isaac Okoro. Jason told me, Mike, you're wrong. They did it simply to get off the Okoro contract. Lonzo's a one-year deal. It gets off the books earlier. I said, no, I think Lonzo can be a piece. And I was 100% wrong. Lonzo brought nothing offensively to this team to the capacity they needed. And for him to say, I would bet on myself, the only thing I'd bet on Lonzo Ball right now is to miss a jump shot. Yeah. That's it. There's nothing else you could bet on. It's not health. It's not efficiency. It's not defensive premise. He was a good NBA player. Injuries derailed his career, and I feel bad because I thought Lonzo had a chance to be a really, 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 really solid pro, and it's a shame that his body just did not have the longevity to withstand that. But to say I would have bet on myself over who the Cavs threw out there, Lonzo, you were out there. And when you were out there, you were the least efficient offensive player in the entire NBA this season. What you said is just an absolutely ludicrous statement. And I understand it because that's how NBA athletes and NFL athletes
Yeah,
are always
of
going to bet
course.
on themselves. The Darius part of it, Darius said it wasn't the same as we were before. When Darius was on the Cavs, they were 17 and 16 at one point in this
500
season.
team.
And how did
were
they do in the
500.
playoffs with Darius Garland in the past?
They never made it to the Eastern Conference Finals, which they did this season. They don't make it past Toronto in round 1 if you swap out Darius or James Harden. They definitely don't get past Detroit in round 2 if you swap out Darius Garland for James Harden. I understand he's a little salty. I understand he's a little upset that he got traded. A big reason he ended up getting traded was his camp was pushing for the fact that he wanted Darius to have his own team. Darius can go all revisionist history we want. Darius was upset. His team was upset when they acquired Donovan Mitchell because that was supposed to be Darius' team, and now the ball was being taken out of his hands. But we have the track record. Darius was hurt in the playoffs last year. Part of the reason
and didn't play when he did.
Part of the reason they didn't beat Indiana was
Yeah.
because Darius wasn't there in this year's postseason when they played day on, day off, day on, day off for 27 straight games. Do you think Darius and his 9 toes were going to be able to hold up?
No.
In that on-off period? I understand he may feel a certain type of way, but there are just some things you should not say in front of a podcast, in front of an audience when you know it's going to blow up. And I cannot believe that Lonzo Ball and Darius Garland both sat up there and said what they said on a hot mic, where they knew it was going to get back to the people who could talk about it.
I ultimately don't have a problem with what they said because you say whatever you want, but I'm going to make fun of them for it.
Yeah.
100%.
I agree with Dustin that Darius, I get that he's a little bitter. He's part of this team. But part of the reason they moved on is because he was immature. And he showed his immaturity and just his lack of awareness. First of all, the team wasn't good this year. You're talking about it. He made it seem like the team was great when they traded him away. They weren't playing well. He talked about it was hard to watch in the playoffs. Now, if he was saying that because that was his team, I get it. Maybe he was saying it for that reason as opposed to, I at first thought he was saying because they played poorly in that Knicks series. If he said it for that reason, it's ridiculous because they've played poorly outside of the Miami Heat series, every series he played in.
He only played in 2 of those games, too.
Exactly. So it's not like he has a track record of playing well. Last year he shot under 30% from 3 in the playoffs. He averaged like 17 points a game. He wasn't very good even when he did play last year.
In the playing game this year,
Yeah.
when they lost to the Warriors,
Right.
he had a good first 3 quarters. And do you know who they hunted every possession down the stretch?
Yeah.
L.A. to win that game?
Yeah.
Darius Garland.
Because he can't play any defense. And Lonzo Ball, I mean, you sound like an absolute idiot. Again, say what you want. You have the right. I have the right to make fun of you for it. It's like when I say crazy crap, people make fun of me. I don't care. Lonzo Ball, you stunk. And when the Cavs acquired him at the beginning of the year, I remember we played
no fence riders.
Yeah, and I was like, he's going to average. I thought he'd be good for them.
Yeah.
And he was terrible. Every game, he would miss every shot, it seemed like. He can't play any defense. He can't play any offense. He didn't pass particularly well. Like, what did he do? What did he bring to the table? He says, as you pointed out, he goes, well, the guys they traded for, they didn't play. Well,
he said something about they needed an identity, too.
Yeah, what identity would he have given them?
Hitting
one.
more bricks?
That they suck.
I mean, first of all, they traded for 3 guys. James Harden obviously played a lot.
Yeah, Schroeder.
Dennis Schroeder played plenty. Yeah, Keon Ellis didn't play that much. But he played a little. Lonzo Ball wouldn't have played a minute except for garbage time.
They tried to play Keon, and Keon wasn't making shots, and that's why he fell out of favor in the rotation for some of the other guys.
They still would have rather had Keon than him.
Yes.
Because at least Keon plays defense.
It got to the point where I'm telling you, and I'm not joking.
Yeah.
Every time Lonzo Ball touched the basketball, the home crowd, this is not the opposing, the Cleveland Cavaliers fan base started to boo, and every time he took a jump shot, you could hear,
yeah, right. Because
and when he made it got, and this is, I think, maybe the worst point you could get as a professional basketball player.
Yeah.
When you make a jump shot and the crowd sarcastically cheers for you. That's where Lonzo Ball was at this year.
Yeah.
His body betrayed him.
Yeah.
Lonzo could have had a really, really
He's
good
finished
NBA
his career. Did anybody even pick him up when
No, he got waived by the Utah Jazz afterwards.
I mean, the guy got waived by the worst team. You say, okay, they don't want a veteran player. There wasn't a single veteran team that was like, maybe he could help us on our bench.
No.
Not one. No. Nobody wanted him. He's out of the league, and he thought he mattered? I mean, get a clue. Again, Darius Garland is still at least a pretty good player.
Darius Garland's a good player. Darius Garland's a good basketball
player. He's just injury
player.
prone.
Yeah.
Like, so Darius, I get it a little bit, but Lonzo Ball just kind of made a fool of himself. And he's got a bunch of hanger-oners, ass kissers on the show with him that are just going to tell him what he wants to hear. They're not going to say, you stink, because they're his boys.
Well,
So-
one's
I
his
think
brother.
that 4 points a
One's
game
his
would have
brother.
helped.
Yeah.
What's that?
You don't think the 4 points a game would have helped?
Yeah, definitely not. Because he wouldn't have gotten 4 points a game.
Well, if he had 1 point in game 1 of the finals, we'd have won the game. But he wouldn't have had that 1 point.
Yeah, no, he wouldn't have.
He would have.
I would rather see Dean Wade on offense for the Cavs than Lonzo Ball. At this
I would have
point.
rather had Isaac Okoro back.
Well,
He stinks.
whole different issue.
Yeah,
Okoro would have helped them in some regards.
By
but
the way-
the contract thing, it's more than anything, the contract was the reason they got rid of Isaac.
By the way, have you watched the
Lonzo's spot.
finale of Euphoria yet?
No.
Okay.
The last episodes I watched tonight and tomorrow.
But it just had me thinking, I don't know why talking about the Bulls podcast made me think of this, but Marshawn Lynch
Is
is in
Yeah.
one of the main kind of secondary characters in this
Yeah.
final season of Euphoria.
I think
And
he's pretty good. He's been pretty good.
My boy.
I've been
He's
like
pretty good.
genuinely impressed. So I didn't realize it was Marshawn Lynch at first.
Yeah. I know.
And then he
Yeah.
talked again. I was like, I know that. I don't know where I know
Yeah.
that voice, but I know that voice.
Yeah.
Went back.
He plays a gangster.
And
he's good at it.
He's a good actor. Like, he's a
Yeah.
pretty good actor. I don't know how versatile he may be.
Yeah, I don't
in
know.
terms of an acting career, but
Yeah.
like for that particular role,
Was
Yeah.
he sort of playing himself?
he plays.
No, he's playing a gangster. He's not playing a
plays-
football
yeah, he plays
player.
Well, no, it's all. I mean, he's kind of. He's got that.
Yeah,
he knows,
but
he
no,
knows
no,
how
no.
to talk like he's from.
Right, but he's
He's from friggin' Oakland.
fine, but
dude.
he's much harder on this in this show than he at least portrayed himself
Yeah,
in real
but,
life.
I mean, he grew up like in Compton, dude. Like he.
I hear
he knows
you,
what,
but
he
that
knows-
doesn't
he
mean
knows
you're a
that-
gangster.
I know, but
He's-
I mean,
Yeah.
I know Marshawn from when we
Yeah.
played. I mean, he's
Yeah.
Then
he came from the.
So maybe
Yeah,
there's
so-
some aspects of it, but
Yeah.
he does a very good
but
job.
he's playing a role that's not just your
Yeah.
stereotypical
Right.
gangster. He's the not bodyguard, but he's the
He's like the right hand
kind of
man
the
to the head
henchman
gangster.
for the yeah. Exactly.
Did you ever watch Oz? By the way,
I did not.
Hmm.
Sorry.
But he's good. Marshall Lynch is legit
if you
good.
know Oz,
I think
there's a-
Marshawn. First off, Marshawn's great in everything he does. I thought
Yeah.
he was
He was
fantastic. in
excellent
all
in
the
this.
skits he used
Did
to
you
do.
see the
yeah.
Applebee's thing he did?
with Kenny Mayne? Yeah, absolutely.
So good.
I don't
So
think I
if
saw
you
that,
haven't,
but-
it's
It's
even
old.
today.
It's like
15 years
2009,
old.
10.
It's a must watch.
By the way, the best commercials right now are those insurance commercials where it's like not be like your parents.
Yeah, those are good.
I don't know that guy's name who does those.
The ball guy?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
great. And those
He's
are
good.
really fun.